So this is kind of the next part, still an introduction to breath or theory. Let's say it's theory about breath. And I want to start with breath. I already mentioned before that breath is the essence of life, in that sense that it's related, for example, in Christianity with the Holy Spirit. And then we have, for example, we touched upon the yogic traditions before, and in the yogic traditions, breath work is called pranayama. And in that we have the prana. Prana is the life force, the life within us. And it is, for example, very similar also to the expression of qi in qigong or tai chi or the Chinese Asian systems. And it all kind of describes a similar thing, being it you calling it the Holy Spirit, being it you calling it qi, being it you calling it prana. It is the essence of our life. And in the yogic knowledge, there is a lot of wisdom about the different energies within our bodies, the different pranas, and in which ways they move and circulate. And the similar in the Chinese, we have in the traditional Chinese medicine, we have the whole meridian system, where we have also the idea of energy centers. This is all very related to breath and to energy. Breath and energy are very, very close, and very, very important for our well-being, for our health. They're essential for our health. And also, we know it's the breath of life. And we know when somebody passes, there are certain traditions where there is a particular number of breath that a person takes as a last breath, and you can feel it, you can know it when the soul is leaving the body. And there is another level to be very aware of our breathing. Again, jumping to the Christian, Hebrew, Aramaic, wisdom traditions of this area, there is the understanding of the nashak, and that is the Aramaic Hebrew word for kiss. And that does not mean necessarily a kiss in the way that we understand it. It's not just an act of adorance or of love. It is meant as, the literal translation of it is breathing together. And that has different implications. It has the implication of an exchange of spirit, an exchange of energy, a transmission, an initiation happening. That is why in the Bible Jesus kisses his disciples, because he is transmitting the spirit. And then there is like a kind of deeper alchemical specific way of nashak that is when a man and a woman enter into divine union and they become one. They become one breath. Maybe you've heard of breath work that you do with a partner. It is a very, very, very intimate thing to breathe with someone, because you become one. And this is something where I also kind of would like to place a little warning or an invitation for awareness in your everyday, to observe how it feels to be in a room with someone and to become aware of your own breathing and of the other's breath and how that feels. You know, sometimes the breath also shows a lot about our health. You know, sometimes people have a very uninviting breath, you know, smelly breath, and it's a mirror for our health. If we have smelly breath, it's like with all the other symptoms that we have, it's a warning, it's an indicator inviting us to look inside, to connect with ourselves and figure out, okay, where am I out of balance? We had that theme before, the question of balancing, because that's what health is about, that is what well-being is about, that is in some way what life is about, because life is the whole experience of experiencing polarities and coming back into a balance, into a union, into understanding. Yeah, so it can be that sometimes you feel like you cannot even stand the breathing of another next to you. And I would really encourage you to honor that, because breath is so intimate, and you receive a transmission of someone. If you don't really know what the term means, it means that, you know, transmission is passing something on. And through the breath, you get a very intimate experience of the other person, of the energy, of the presence, of the state of being, of the state of health, of the state of mind, of heart, body, soul of the other person. And it's quite important to, on one hand, be aware of that, and on the other, to choose with which people you are really open to go to receive and to give this intimately. Because sometimes it might also feel like somebody is actually taking your breath, and that is not necessarily a good thing, you know. We have that expression in our language, in our culture, oh, it's breathtaking, it's taking my breath away. And that can mean different things. I already touched upon that in the last video, how when sometimes we stop breathing, it can be a nervous system response of overwhelm, of not feeling safe. And it can also be of something is taking your life force, your energy. Yeah. And it's really, really important to bring awareness into these things. These are very fundamental, kind of basic things, but so crucial in our life. Yeah. So yeah, I would like to invite you here to kind of feel into that for yourself, like how maybe have you had experiences where you noticed you were like in a room with someone, like for example at work, you know, sometimes we just we don't really have a choice, do we? Like, oh, for example, if you're on a bus, on a coach, or in a train, and it's super crowded, and it's like you're just kind of squeezed in, and you have all of these different breaths present there. And for these situations, I really invite you to kind of go into visualization, to consciously connect with your own breath. That is very important. And to kind of visualize, if you don't have the physical capacity to do anything to strengthen your field, visualize your own field, like visualize a shield around you, or receiving a stream from above that is supplying you with fresh, pure air that is invigorating, that is nourishing, that is inspiring, that is light and uplifting, that is bringing you oxygen. into your cells. And that is giving you this medicine of the breath, because the breath is such pure medicine. It's so medicinal. And maybe that's a good point to kind of split this video again and continue with another to kind of keep this digestible. Yeah, I'll do that. Thank you. And again, I'd really love to receive whatever you feel like relating or sharing. What landed within, what resonates, what experiences did you make? Any questions? Feel free.